Everyone, this is the 49th session of BCom 6th semester cost accounting paper of Vijayanagara Sri Krishna Deva Raya University. In this session, we will learn about marginal costing. That is, what is marginal costing, what is marginal cost, and definitions of marginal costing, and features of marginal costing, assumptions in marginal costing, advantages of marginal costing, and limitations of marginal costing, as well as the applications of marginal costing. Okay. What is marginal costing? Marginal costing is a technique of costing. It is a technique of guiding the management in decision making, in assessment of profitability, in pricing, etc. In marginal costing, only variable manufacturing costs are considered while determining the cost of goods sold and also the valuation of inventories. It is not a method of costing like job, batch, or contract costing. This technique divides the total cost into fixed costs, which do not change but remain constant for any level of production, and variable or marginal costs, which vary or change proportionately to the change in the volume of output. Then, what is marginal cost? Marginal cost is a economic concept which means additional or marginal cost of producing additional or marginal units. ICMA London defines marginal cost as the amount at any given volume of output by which aggregate costs are changed if the volume of output is increased or decreased by 1 unit. The word unit here means the single item of a product or a process or an operation or a batch of production or a department or a stage of production capacity. For example, if a manufacturing firm produces X units at a cost of rupees 500 and X plus 1 unit at a cost of rupees 520, the cost of an additional unit will be rupees 20, which is marginal cost. Similarly, if the production of X minus 1 units comes down to rupees 480, the cost of marginal unit will be rupees 20, that is 300 minus 280. The marginal cost varies directly with the volume of production, and marginal cost per unit remains the same. It consists of prime cost, that is cost of direct material, direct labor, direct expenses, and all variable overheads. So it does not contain any element of fixed cost which is kept separate under marginal cost technique. Thus, the concept of marginal cost indicates wherever there is a change in the volume of output, certainly there will be a change in the total cost. It is concerned with the changes in the variable cost. It is a costing system which treats only variable manufacturing cost as product cost. The fixed manufacturing overheads are regarded as period costs. Okay, what is marginal costing? The definition of marginal costing. ICMA London defines marginal costing as the ascertainment of marginal cost and the effect on profit of changes in volume or type of output by differentiating between fixed cost and variable cost. Marginal costing is a technique of costing concerned with the changes in cost and profit resulting from changes in the volume of output. Marginal costing is also known as variable costing. Kohler Dictionary for accounting defines marginal costing as the ascertainment of marginal or variable cost to an activity, department, or products as compared with the absorption costing or direct costing. Marginal costing may be defined as the technique of presenting cost data wherein variable costs and fixed costs are shown separately for managerial decision making. It should be clearly understood that marginal costing is not a method of costing like process costing or job costing. Rather, it is simply a method or technique of the analysis of cost information for the guidance of management, which tries to find out an effect on profit due to changes in the volume of output. So from the definitions, we can frame out the features of marginal costing. The main features of marginal costing are: first one is all elements of cost are classified into fixed and variable components. Semi-variable costs are also analyzed into fixed and variable elements. The marginal or variable cost, that is direct material, direct labor, direct expenses and variable factory overheads, are treated as the cost of the product. Third one is under marginal costing, the value of the finished goods and work in progress is also comprised only of marginal costs. Variable selling and distribution expenses are excluded for valuing these inventories. Fixed costs are not considered for valuation of closing stock of finished goods and closing work in progress. So fourth is fixed costs are treated as period costs and is charged to profit and loss account for the period for which they are incurred. Fifth is prices are determined with reference to marginal cost and contribution margin. Last is profitability of departments and products is determined with reference to their contribution margin. So then what are the assumption of marginal costing? The technique of marginal costing is based on the following assumptions, that is all elements cost can be divided into fixed and variable. Second is the selling price per unit remains unchanged at all levels of activity. Third is variable cost per unit remains constant irrespective of the level of output and fluctuates directly in proportion to the changes in volume of output. Fourth is fixed costs remain unchanged or constant for the entire volume of production. So last is volume of product is the only factor which influences the cost. So these are the assumption of marginal costing. So what are the advantages of marginal costing? Marginal costing is an important technique of managerial decision making. It is a tool for the cost control and profit planning. The following are the advantages of marginal costing. First one is simplicity. The statement propounded under marginal costing can be easily followed as it breaks up the cost into variable and fixed. Second is stock valuation. The stock valuation can be easily done and understood as it includes only the variable cost. Third one is meaningful reporting. Marginal costing serves as a good basis for reporting to the management. The profits are analyzed from the point of view of sales rather than the production. Fourth is effects on fixed costs. The fixed costs are treated as period costs and are charged to profit and loss account directly. Thus, they have practically no effect on decision making. Fifth is profit planning. In profit planning advantage, the cost volume profit relationship is perfectly analyzed to reveal efficiency of products, processes and departments. Break-even point and margin of safety are the two important concepts helpful in profit planning. Sixth is cost control and cost reduction. Marginal costing technique is helpful in the preparation of flexible budgets as the costs are classified into fixed and variable. The emphasis is laid on the variable cost control. The constant focus is on the cost volume and their effect on profit paves the way for the cost reduction. Seventh is pricing policy. Marginal costing is immensely helpful in determination of selling prices under different situations like recession, depression, introduction of new products, etc. Correct pricing can be developed under marginal costing technique with the help of the cost information revealed therein. Last is helpful to management. Marginal costing is helpful to the management in exercising decisions regarding make or buy, exporting, key factor and numerous other aspects of business operations. What are the limitations of marginal costing? First one is classification of cost. Breakup of cost into fixed and variable proportion is a difficult problem. Moreover, clear cost division of semi-variable or semi-fixed cost is complicated and cannot be accurate. Second one is not suitable for external reporting. Since fixed cost is not included in the total cost, full cost is not available to outsiders to judge the efficiency. Third is lack of long term perspective. Marginal costing is mostly suitable for decision making in a short term. It assumes that the costs are classified into fixed and variable. In the long term, all the costs are variable. Therefore, it ignores time element and is not suitable for long term decisions. Fourth is undervaluation of stock. Under marginal costing, only variable costs are considered and the output as well as stock are undervalued and profit is distorted. When there is a loss of stock, the insurance cover will not meet the total cost. Fifth is automation. In these days of automation and technical advancement, huge investments are made in heavy machinery which results in heavy amount of fixed costs. Ignoring fixed costs in this context for decision making is irrational. Sixth is not applicable in all types of business. In contract type and job order type of business, full cost of job or the contract is to be charged. Therefore, it is difficult to apply marginal costing in all these types of business. Seventh one is misleading picture. Each product is shown at variable cost alone, thus giving a misleading picture about the cost. Last is less scope for long term policy decision. Since cost, volume, and profits are interlinked in price determination, which can be changed constantly, the development of long term pricing is not possible. Now, let us move on to the applications of marginal costing. Marginal costing is a very useful technique for costing and has a great potential for the management in various managerial skills and decision making process. The applications of marginal costing can be seen as follows. First one is fixation of selling price. Although prices are regulated more by market conditions of demand and supply than by management, yet fixation of selling prices is one of the most important functions of the management. While fixing the prices, the management has to keep in view the level of profits to be earned. In normal circumstances, the selling price fixed must cover total cost, as otherwise the profit cannot be earned. But under certain circumstances, products may have to be priced below the total cost. This type of situation may arise in trade depression when there is a serious fall in the demand for products. Prices fixed during depression may be below total cost, but it should be equal to or more than the marginal cost. This is because fixed cost will have to be incurred if even if the production is discontinued for a short period. If the products can be sold at a price above the marginal cost, the loss on account of fixed cost can be reduced to that extent. In other words, any contribution towards the recovery of fixed cost will reduce the losses which will be incurred if production is stopped. As a word of caution, fixation of prices below the total cost should be made only on short term basis, because no firm can afford losses on a long term basis. Second one is make or buy decisions. Marginal costing helps management to decide whether the firm should itself manufacture a component part or buy it from an outside firm. This is particularly so when a component part is available in the market at price below the firm's own cost. This decision can be arrived at by comprising the supplier's price with the firm's own marginal cost. For example, if the cost of making a component part is rupees 18, consisting of rupees 15 as variable cost and rupees 3 as fixed cost, suppose the same component part is available in the market at rupees 17, in the prima facie conclusion is that it is cheaper to buy the component form apart from outside. But a study of cost analysis shows that Each unit produced also contributes rupees 3 towards the fixed cost. If purchased from outside, it will cost rupees 20, that is rupees 17 plus 3. 3 is fixed cost. This fixed cost has to be incurred whether to make or buy. Thus, this component should not be purchased from outside unless it is available below rupees 15, which is a marginal or variable cost. However, while arriving at a final decision in this regard, it should also be considered that the production facilities, that is plant capacity, released by a non-manufacturer of the component may be put to some alternative use. In such a case, the above argument does not hold good. Moreover, there should be an assurance of continued supply of component by the outside firm. Third one is selection of suitable product mix. When a concern manufacturing more than one product, the management has to decide the proportion in which these products should be manufactured. This is known as product mix or sales mix. The production and sales of those products should be pushed up, which give the maximum profits, and production of comparatively less profitable products should be reduced. Marginal costing helps management in deciding the best product mix so that the profits can be maximized. The best product mix is one that yields maximum contribution. Fourth one is alternative methods of production. When management is faced with the problem of choosing from amongst the alternative methods of production, marginal costing helps by furnishing relevant cost information for taking a right decision. For example, management may be faced with the problem of using an automatic machinery or manufacturing entirely by manual labor. The method of manufacture which yields the greatest contribution should be selected, of course keeping in view certain other factors. Fifth is profit planning. The aim of the business is to maximize the profits. The marginal costing with the help of break-even analysis guides the management about the profit position at various levels of output so that the management can operate the business at optimum level where profit is maximum. Thus, it is helpful in profit planning. Last one is closure of business, that is suspending activity or closing down. The management under certain circumstances may be faced with the problem of suspending the activities, that is closing down the business. This type of situation usually arises when sufficient volume of business cannot be secured. The closure of the business may take one of the two forms, that is temporary closure or permanent closure. Temporary closure of the business is a short-term concept. The object is usually to stop operations until trade depression has passed. But if products are making a contribution towards the fixed cost, then generally speaking, production should continue. In other words, if prices exceed marginal cost, losses will tend to be minimized by continuing the production. And in permanent closure business is when it is decided when the long term business is not earning sufficient profits to cover the risks involved. So thus these are the important applications of marginal costing. So in this sessions we have learnt about what is marginal cost, what is marginal costing, what are the features, what are the assumptions, advantages, limitations and applications of marginal costing. In the next session we will learn some important terms, that is break-even analysis, CVP analysis and margin of safety, and then PV ratio, contribution, and also the important formulas. Thank you.